Today's my 10-mile run. I decided to do trails because it's so pretty out, but it's super rainy. This is pretty much what it's like running in Portland most of the year. Welcome to episode 3 of the Running Diaries. Today was my long run for week 2. I just wrapped 2 weeks of training so far, and I did a 10-mile trail run because I love running trail. And we have this one route in Portland that I particularly really like running because it's beautiful. It was kind of stormy out this morning, like wind and rain, more like a drizzly rain than an actual downpour. Very common Portland weather. And the trails are a little bit more protected than trying to run around the waterfront or through the neighborhood. So that's what I decided to do today. And I loved the part when I was actually out on the trail. That part of my run went really well. Really beautiful, great run. I planned my run, however, so that I could end it at the waterfront and then have like a cool down jog walk another mile back to my house. Whew. By the time I made it to the waterfront, the wind had picked up really bad and I was really cold because I'd run another like 2 miles from the trail to get to the waterfront and the Hawthorne Bridge. And I was less protected, so it was just soaked through and windy, which is my least favorite weather for running. I don't mind running in rain. I think it can actually be kind of nice, especially if it's like a warmer spring rain. It doesn't feel that bad, like once you're wet, like the first couple minutes when you're getting wet, it's like, oh no, ew. But then once you're wet, you're like, whatever, it's fine. And then you can go home and shower. Whereas when it's wet and then windy, you have that cold, bitter wind that cuts through everything and continues to make you feel just like cold and cold and cold and cold and wet. And it just, ugh, it can be absolutely miserable. And that's what I had for like the last 3 miles or so on my way home. So I was so frigid when I got home, so frigid. But because this morning was such a horrible weather for running, I thought it'd be fun to talk about what I do with bad weather runs. I used to try different rain jackets. I've gone through maybe like 4 of them. I do occasionally when it's really wet, or if I'm run commuting and I don't want to be soaked through, or I use an actual Gore-Tex jacket. I actually first bought this one for hiking. It's a North Face, but it's got vents and it's comfortable enough to run in that is what I will run in if I'm trying to not get soaked through for any reason. Shoes, though, are probably more important to me with that feeling of being comfortable or uncomfortable when running in bad weather. The rain with the puddles and that squishy feeling that gets in your shoes can be miserable. There are lots of different shoes that tout being more waterproof. I found personally when I was using some of those that I didn't have that much of a difference. I know you can put coatings on your shoes. What I've been running in and what I normally run in is the Flyknit free running racer shoe. I really like this one. It's probably my most run-in shoe from Nike. I started in Pegasus. I've tried a couple different ones. This is the one I ended up with the most. I love the Flyknit because it conforms so well to my foot and is really comfortable, and I like the more minimalist aspect of the freeze. But also most important, because unless you're wearing Gore-Tex shoes, your foot's gonna get wet when it's super sopped up raining anyway. Flyknit dries faster. And for me, that's a really important aspect in my shoes, because yeah, I can put up with a little bit of the squishy uncomfortableness during the run, but it's putting on a damp shoe the next day or the day after that really sucks. So Flyknit dries faster. That's why one of the things I love about that. Today and recently I've been running in my Nike Zoom Flies. This is what I do most of my long runs in right now because it is also the shoe that I plan on racing in. They're kind of dirty because it was a trail run. And they were starting to get a little bit more squishy in the sole than my Flyknits do with the wet, but I also accidentally stepped right into a puddle, so didn't do them any favors. The uppers are already starting to feel a lot drier than when I first came back, and it's been maybe 2 hours or so. So I will check them again tomorrow and see how dry they're feeling. Shoes dried in 24 hours, so yay! But so far I'm hopeful that they will also dry pretty fast. Those are my tips for running in wet weather. Definitely, if it's going to be windy, it is worth having a jacket, not so much to keep the wet off, but to help with the cutting of the wind. That is always miserable, always. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I put up a new running diaries video every single Tuesday. Okay, bye.
E